What else has come out of Kentucky worthwhile apart from yourself and fried chicken?
Well, I'm better than the fried chicken, but better than me is the Everly Brothers, who are one of the great things I'm proud about in my state. And then Bill Monroe and the entire genre of bluegrass music.
The Kentucky Colonels.
Yeah, exactly. That whole horse racing, bluegrass, you know, whiskey and tobacco, all the bad things in life are from my part of the world.
Greg, as the only resident of Los Angeles, what do you think this diversity of origins has brought to the Long Ryders? These chaps drifting in from all over the continent.
Well, we took them all in. LA takes everybody in sooner or later. And they taught me something about country and western. Don't get much of it in Los Angeles.
Why, what were you listening to when they arrived with the Kentucky Colonels?
Oh, the Ramones, you know, a lot of the stuff in the late 70s, the Clash, and then, you know, all the LA bands that were around there, the Blasters and X, and Los Lobos had just started out, that kind of stuff. They met up with these guys, and they like, especially Sid and Stevens said, well, here, I listened to this stuff, and it was great.
How old were you when you first heard the Byrds' Sweetheart of the Rodeo?
Oh, God,
Late last week.
Hey, you've done pretty well.
The gig. No, I'm young. I'd say I was probably, I mean, it was well after it came out. You know, I was most probably 16 or 17, you know, well down the line. So, you know, when it came out, I was probably just learning how to spell or something. You know?
Sid, was that an LP that had a big influence on you?
Well, it had you have no idea in the UK what it meant to people in my neck of the woods. It almost destroyed.
You should have heard it in Lancashire. I mean, that was even.
Well,
you know.
I can imagine the cultural shock, but you see Kentucky Fried Chicken in Lancashire. So, but coming from the South, that type of music by young men, it had always been played by these older guys. And after, you know, this Rolling Stones Beatles assault, it was very hard for young people to appreciate country and western music because it was always played by people that looked so alien to the young people of that time. And now here came young men that were Southerners, or at least Graham Parsons, and it struck a very spiritual note in a lot of people down south, and to use the great hippie cliche, blew a lot of minds. It didn't sell well, but the people that listened to it, it was like a whole world was opening up, that they had shunned it aside because they didn't want to be like these horrible people who had turned out, I'm talking country western fans, who had later turned out and weren't so horrible after all.
Are you more Johnny Rotten or Graham Parsons then?
I don't know. I like to think Emily Harris did something great to me the other day.
Who are you?
A little name dropping. She said one of the last times I talked to her, she said if Graham was alive today, he'd be in a punk band. And I know exactly what she means. What people don't understand, Andy, is country and western artists, you know, they sing and they complain about society in the United States and life and so on and so forth. And these young punk guys, they do the exact same, be it in the UK or the USA. They sing about society, their complaints of society and life, and so on and so forth. It's the same thing when George Jones sings about taxes, or Rotten or Strummer, or someone sings about the, what is it, GLC or what have you, you know. It's the exact same thing. It's two different mediums, but I'm telling you, it's the same thing. Just one guy expresses it in his culture, and the other guy expresses it in his culture.
sweet, sweet